This is Maurice Jones-Drew, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, UCLA, fight.
You're listening to the What's Bruin Show, part of the What's Bruin Show Network, with your hosts, Jake Merrifield, Bill Shirley, Jamaal Artis, and Mike Regalado, bringing you anything and everything UCLA sports. And now, it's time for the What's Bruin Show.
Well, hello and welcome to What's Bruin. I'm your host, Jake Merrifield. And I'm joined by my good friend, partner, Mike Regalado.
What's up, yo?
Mike, why are we here?
We got football, Jake.
Whatever.
Football.
Why?
LA football. Hosted by the Gronk. You ready to get Gronk, Jake?
No. I'm going to the game, though. But that's about as ready as I'm going to be for whatever. So, yeah, we're here tonight and expect Mike to be very enthusiastic about something. And I'm going to probably sardonically comment on, why we're even here right now. But it's okay. It's all right. It's good. Mike.
For the love of the game and the people, Jake.
Mike is the burr in my butt right now, getting me to podcast, and that's fine. That's okay. This is the What's Bruin Show on the What's Bruin Show Network. Thank you very much. In your feed already, Jamaal finally got off his ass and did a West Coast bias for the first time in 3 months. It only took the biggest signing in Major League Baseball history for him to actually decide to do a podcast, but he is happy about it, and he is happy, and I know one guy who is shedding.
That was awesome. I sent that text to us,
Yeah.
and the first one that responded was Jim with shit.
Yeah, so the Godfather is shedding
Not happy.
real tears, and this guy is shedding some real tears too. He's not feeling himself right now.
It's been a solid 28 hours or so of feeling myself.
Yeah, I texted Hanna today and I said, touch your subject, the state of UCLA football or Ohtani to the Dodgers? And he responded, yes. So he's feeling it too. He was actually listening to Jamaal's podcast as he was texting me, which was nice. Incidentally, the picture that's on the What's Bruin Show feed, at least, and it's also on the Substack feed for West Coast Bias, is Megan's response to me.
You're just all about the West Coast bias. You don't like the East Coast.
And that basically was when it happened. She's like, yes, and this is like a bunch of emojis, of course, and clapping hands and stuff. And she's like, this is the best day of my life. And this is all before we knew it was confirmed. So I was like, I just responded, I hope it's real, which it turned out to be real. So, yeah, we're very excited in LA over the Ohtani news, of
Very
course.
much.
And that
Some of us are.
awesome, cool contract. Yeah, whatever. Sorry, Jim. Deal with it. Jim, if you do want to go to any games, let me know. I have tickets. You too, Hanna. But we'll go to a game together. It'll be fun. But what was it? Where was I at? What's Bruin Show? What's Bruin Show Network. Thank you very much for your support. A lot of great shows on one great feed, I suppose. We do have West Coast Bias in your feed, like I said. If you are a subscriber on the Patreon, patreon.com/What's Bruin Show, or on Substack, what'sbruin.substack.com, there will be a bonus subscriber podcast going out that I recorded over the last couple days that I haven't gotten to edit yet, but it will be me complaining about Mike wanting to do a podcast, pretty much is what that is.
Yep.
Yeah, but enjoy that for you guys. We thank you for you guys subscribing. You guys are, the foundation that the show is on and what keeps us keep doing it. So we appreciate you guys. You can watch the show, listen to the show on YouTube. Look in the show notes for the merch site, which is on My Locker site. And also, you can call the What's Bruin hotline, 805-399.
4WBS.
Sacramento Troy. Although they're basically, they got, we have scoreboard for the whole year. We have the bell.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else is pretty much, a giant middle finger to us.
Yeah.
As far as how things have worked out. It is very troubling.
Yeah. Yeah, they got that North Dakota State coach, which is pretty big in reconstructing their defense.
Yeah, whatever.
So yeah, have we gotten any coaching hires at UCLA?
I think I do have crickets here somewhere.
Not at all.
Okay. Hey, but we've had some coaches successfully, matriculate upwards, and we're proud of them and happy for them.
Yes,
That's good.
Cheers to
That's
them.
good. That's good for everybody, but our DC. We want him back. Screw you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. All right, well, let's, Mikey, get to just whatever has been happening recently. We'll do a bro-affiliated headlines, I suppose, just to get through all the news real quick, and then we'll call Jamaal and talk about the bowl games, and then hopefully we can stop this podcast so we can go about our lives, wait for this stupid bowl game to come up. That I am going to, and I am excited to see. But I mean,
Let's get
Gronk.
Gronk.
I'm not talking about it, but whatever. All right, here we go.
Mike Regalado.
So,
me.
Mikey, I'll just ask you some questions, and you tell me whether or not there's been some news on it, and we can just kind of go about it that way.
Okay.
Last time I talked to you, we were talking about how the transfers out of the program, your Carson Ryans and Jake Wiley or Cam Brown, Keegan Jones, like we weren't happy about it, but they weren't exactly players that had been, where the Bruins didn't have other talent, and it was like a reasonable. It was reasonable to think why they would be seeking elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
Based on how it turned out.
Yeah.
Since then, there's been a few that are a little more notable and hurt a little bit more.
Yeah.
The main one for me was Kamari Ramsey, of course.
Yeah.
That one, sticks, in
just because
like
he
a knife.
was probably UCLA's best defensive back this season, and a guy that was up and coming that we knew would be good going into the season, and then he decides to transfer. And the fact that he's down to Ohio State and Washington as his landing spots tells you how good this guy was.
Yeah, and he's pretty darn good, which is shocking. It would have been nice if, the UCLA administration would have figured out a way to, I don't know, hold on to their defensive coordinator instead of letting him go across town. I'll bet you that transfer doesn't happen. That's just me spitballing here, but that's probably the case.
And just like John Humphrey as well.
John Humphrey in the transfer portal as well. So, like I said, I don't want to be, I really am trying to recalibrate to where we are going forward, but we're still not through the changing, of guys coming in and going out.
Yeah.
But certainly after those first 4 or 5, guys who entered the portal, these last 2 have been a lot more meaningful to how the Bruins will be on the field. I think for sure.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of duplication there. However, with 2 defensive backs leaving, a cornerback and a safety, we have gotten news that there will be 2 incoming defensive backs, a cornerback and a safety. Coincidentally enough, the safety was earlier today or yesterday. And that was coming from somebody we already played this year, San Diego State. Marcus Ratcliffe comes in. And he was a 3-star originally out of high school. And then now we also got a guy, coming from the Ducks, the Wimpy Ducks sent us a player, and that is none other than Brian Addison, who, Mike, you had told me that he had committed to the Bruins originally, and then
several years ago
ended up going to Oregon. And the Oregonian, when they were talking about him transferring out, they described him as a receiver that developed into Oregon's top safety in pass coverage. Right. In 2022, he had 30 tackles, 2 interceptions, 7 pass breakups, and a forced fumble. He did not play a whole lot. This year, he played the first 4 games, and then I guess got away from the team for quote-unquote personal reasons, is what it was quoted by the Oregon media earlier in the year. So I guess it remains to be seen exactly how that will pan out, but he looks to be a pretty good pickup for the Bruins, certainly, especially when you consider what they lost so far in the portal. So, certainly a welcome addition, and Marcus Radcliffe as well. Let's hope that they both turn out to be pretty good Bruins. Of course, right now they're coachless as far as the who's going to be their coordinator, but I guess we'll figure that out when it comes to it. Now, Mikey, the Bruins also lost a couple coaches.
Tight end coach Jeff Ferris, he was hired at Austin Peay to be the head coach at that program.
Let's go P.
We already talked about Danton Lynn going across town.
Let's not speak of that anymore.
That stings
I
more than...
I want to get over that one.
Gone. Out of sight, out of mind. And also Ryan Gunderson, quarterbacks coach, who is heading to Oregon State to be their offensive coordinator.
That's exciting.
And what
good for him,
Chip Kelly said, good on all of you for getting that bag, getting those promotions. And Chip Kelly said on Monday that UCLA will. He will cover quarterbacks. Akeka Malo will handle defensive play calling just for the bowl game. But still, And I guess I was wondering about should they be going after coaches right now, because obviously they have a quick turnaround after the announcement of the college football playoffs, because they have one of the earliest bowls on the first day of bowl season. But they've also been out recruiting, so it's kind last 2 weeks.
That's good to hear.
They've also so that you're trying to do recruiting and you're trying to get ready for a bowl game. it is a little bit hard to try to go out and figure out, hey, who's going to be our next coach?
Yeah, one is stupid how they have the dates set up now. It is just still, hopefully they change it at some point, but they haven't yet. So when you look at the coaches that left, though, I mean, the only one that is, to me, disheartening and very, very sad is the Danton Lin one that we're not going to speak of anymore.
Yeah.
The other two are, like, to me, perfectly natural, and it's happened since Kelly's got here. It happens with every coaching staff
Yeah.
when they leave for kind of a better opportunity, or, you know, I know somebody might say going to Oregon State as the OC, you know, going to a team that's not really not a real major conference at this point, but still, to me, it's still a major football program, and that's a promotion, right?
Yes,
I mean, that's good.
yes.
And obviously, taking a job as the head coach somewhere, that's a promotion. So, I mean, good luck
Yeah,
to those guys.
exactly.
And look, there's plenty of reasons to be down on UCLA football right now. I'm not going to dispute that, right? And, you know, you can think what you think, and you can grasp what you grasp. I think that this is another one of those things where it is very unfair to be like, you know, yelling at the cloud of UCLA athletics, you know, angrily, like the old man, saying that, oh, this is just another indication of how Chip Kelly's lost control, right? These two things aren't really like the Danton Lin thing. You know, the Danton Lin thing is an indictment on where the program is at right now. I mean,
Yeah.
would you agree with that, Mike?
Yeah.
To me, that one really, it's almost borderline inexplicable when you look at, okay, you just lost your DC to your rival who's in the same conference as you. There's no excuse for that. No excuse for that. After
Yeah.
you just kick their ass, right? There's zero excuse for that.
Yeah.
The other two are, like I said,
Just
completely
natural progression
Natural
into-
progression. And so I don't think those two don't add to the kindling that is under, you know, Chip Kelly's seat. So, you know, take that how you will.
Yeah.
Mike, is there any other news? We'll save basketball stuff for later because I want to get Jamaal in here because I told him we'd call him 10 minutes ago.
Perfect.
Do you have anything else?
No, just really quickly. I just wanted to go over the numbers really quickly. Right as of now, 8 players have entered the transfer portal. 2 have come into UCLA. So -6 if UCLA can swing that with a few more transfer commitments. You know, that would be good. But that's that's the state of things right now. Oh, and Chip Kelly did say because last year there were some guys who put their name in the transfer portal, but they you can opt to stay and practice or participate in the bowl game. Chip Kelly said that all of the guys that have entered the transfer portal will definitely not be playing. And other news. Aside from Leatu Latu winning all the awards, he won the Lombardi Trophy. He was also named an AP All-American first team defensive selection. So good on him.
He's just a baller, man.
But bad for UCLA because he's opting out of the bowl game,
It's
and,
not
and
even
I
news.
don't blame him.
It's not news. He was never going to
Oh
play.
yeah, no. I'm just
We
saying
all
it's
know.
not
That's
news,
what- that's what I was like.
But for those who
It was never news.
I'm just saying
It was
it's
going
out
to
there.
happen.
It's out there. It's out there. I know. That's why
It's like Return of the Zach returning for the bowl game last year. It wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, I mean that's
As much
why
as well as they
we
postured.
don't need a story on bro. We just need Chip Kelly to say this is actually what happened. And I'm just letting the people know what happened. And if anybody was holding their breath, you can stop.
What other starters, just real quick, are not playing in the bowl game that we thought might play in the bowl game?
That's it as of now. Other than the 8 transfers out.
Okay, so there you go. So I
Yeah.
mean, okay, here we go. Oh, by the way, Garbers, what's his?
Apparently he should be good to go to play.
Well, that's good.
And that, I think, will really give UCLA an advantage in getting this win.
Easy, Mike.
Although,
Easy,
I
Mike.
know. I'm just saying.
Well, they should win the game.
Because he's also 1 sack away from.
There's no way for them that they shouldn't win the game. But then again,
Yeah, especially
they were
since,
winning
boy-
the game against
yeah.
Pittsburgh until they weren't, and
Yeah.
that was like a national embarrassment. Well, you got another one.
That's all I got. That's all.
All
I
right, all right, good. Let's get the football and get Jamaal in here. He's impatient. He's getting impatient.
Blue 32, Blue 32, California, California, hood, hey! Football.
All right, so we now have Jamaal on the line. Jamaal Artis at Champs Pub at 10:15. My co-host on West Coast Bias, he actually decided to work this week. So
The West Coast Bias.
good job, Jamaal. How are you doing tonight?
Doing just great, fellas. I don't know if you heard, but Shohei Ohtani is coming to the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
We covered it already, Jamaal.
I covered it. So
Jamaal,
y'all listen out for my podcast.
Jamaal, how do you feel about the whole? No, this is what I want to ask you about it. So now that we found out about the details of the contract and the whole deferred money
Yes.
thing, and awesome, we love baseball and their salary capless system, or just window dressing salary cap. If you had your pick of who else they're going to go out and grab, Who do you want? Give me like the top 3 guys in order of you want them.
Yamamoto, this
Yeah.
player, 25-year-old pitcher from Japan.
Let's go.
That Yamamoto, the 25-year-old pitcher from Japan. Glass now, and I say Rosarena, but that's not going to happen. I don't think they'll be able to pull that off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just know that every time that one of us says the name Otani, Michael Hanna and the Godfather Jim Bendat shed a tear.
They die a little inside.
They die a little bit inside, and it's kind of
They're
nice.
so Well, tell them to pop in their old ass DVDs of their teams
And figure out when you're going to be in town. Oh yeah, add Michael Castillo to that list too, and Alicia De Artola. She's an Angel fan, and he's. By the way, hey, actually that works out good. The Godfather's a Cubby, the Castillo's a Cubby, Hannah's an Angel, and Alicia's an Angel, and they're all just very, very sad people right now. It's okay.
Shed a tear.
yeah.
Tear.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope they get Mike Trout. I hope.
That'd be just sick.
Let me just be a stereotypical male and quote The Godfather. I hope all family business is settled, and Freeman goes gets Yamamoto, he goes gets Glasnow, and he goes get Mike Trout, and just freaking Twitter will explode.
That would just be
That's what I want to see.
bonkers. But I'm happy that they got the Otani. I'm very happy that I signed up for season tickets a month ago, and
Oh my God.
here we go. So there we go.
Jake, are you the one posting $7,000 for your seats on
Not yet.
TickPick?
Not yet, but I'm going to. Hopefully that all works out. And gee whiz, it's only for what, 10 years, Jamaal?
10 years.
Very happy times. So Jamaal, and Mike, we have bowl games coming up. I'll be going to the SoFi, and
I am excited because this is the first time I'm going to SoFi. I'm very excited about that aspect.
yeah, it's cool.
I'm actually going on Friday to do the in-person press conference interviews.
Oh, fun.
Might be talking to
that's
Gronk
awesome.
himself. I'm gonna get Gronk.
That's good for you, Mikey. We're very happy for you.
But you guys have been, right?
Yes.
I've never been. I had credentials to cover a LAFC doubleheader with the Galaxy there, playing Mexico's most popular team, and of course I got COVID, so I completely missed out.
Wait, you've never been there?
No, I was going to be in the press box and everything. No, I've never been to a Rams game.
That's
Could
insane.
never make it. Never did.
All
A
right, well, it's really
Chargers
cool, you
game.
guys. And the concert venue right next door, YouTube Theater, is really cool too.
Still, I want to go there.
Yeah, they're both nice. But anyways, we are playing a bowl game. The Bruins are. They are currently right now.
Are they
1-point favorites? Yeah, that's my question too, Jamaal. On ESPN, they're a 58.2% win predictor favorite on there. And I don't know. I didn't even bother looking at Connolly. Whatever. You can't. There's no prediction that holds any water in one of these bowl games where you have no idea who's going to actually play, and if they are playing, what kind of motivation they have. And on the Boise State side, that's the same darn thing. Like their quarterback's not there. They're down to the third string quarterback. I want to say their running back's not playing. For the Bruins, half the defense is probably not going to play, as far as half of them transferred, and then Liatu Latu, of course, isn't going to play. Carson Steele hasn't been seen for a couple weeks. We're trying to figure out what that is about, or a couple practices at least. This is Carson Steele instead of the Man of Steel. Mikey, no info on that?
Nope, not yet.
See,
Not
so
as of
I
now.
don't know what the hell's going on. So, this is one of those things where it's like, I like watching football. I really like watching UCLA football, and even in the last 20 years, obviously, I don't care whether they're good or not because I still go. And this is one of those situations. I actually got really cheap suite tickets. So me and Malcolm and the Godfather and Marilyn the Saint are going to be right around the 10-yard line in one of the suites there. No food. The Godfather checked into that. But it should be a lot of fun, and so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, because I've sat at SoFi in a couple different places, and now but I've never been a suite there, so this will be a fun experience for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey, you're going as well. Like I know you're going the Friday.
Yes.
Okay, and then so guys, what do you like? I'm of the opinion that we aren't going to know anything about how this game is going to turn out until the game actually is played. It's unpredictable. Where are you guys landing on this particular game? Mikey, we'll start with you.
It's interesting just because there's a lot of key subtractions from this. We talked about right before Jamaal came on, the 8 players that are in the transfer portal are not going to be playing, which includes Kamari Ramsey, Carson Ryan,
Dante Moore.
Dante Moore. Well, was he going to play regardless with a healthy Ethan Garbers? But yeah, so those 8 guys are not going to play. And then they're also without Leatu Latu. So trying to figure out what they're going to do. I think with Ethan Garbers running the offense, there really weren't a lot of key offensive players that left. And, I'm not putting Dante Moore in that because of, Ethan Garbers was just, outperforming him, down the stretch. And, Jake Wiley, but he didn't play much. So for the most part, in a way, the offense is intact, except for Carson Ryan. He was actually pretty much a stud. So I think the offense will be solid if Ethan Garbers, it doesn't find himself on the ground, hobbling off, after getting sacked by another offensive line, letting in a pass rush. It's the defense I'm a little worried about, but for the most part, they still have, a lot of key guys. Muasau, the Murphy twins, Carl Jones, my homeboy, Alex Johnson. So I think the defense is going to take a little bit of a hit, but I think they'll be okay. I actually think that UCLA is in a better position right now than Boise State because Boise State is down to their 3rd string quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair too.
Why am I feel like I'm having deja vu? Didn't we say
we did?
Yes,
UCLA
we've
was
said
in a
all this
good
before.
position 'cause Pitt was down to the 3rd string quarterback. Am I
Yeah.
losing my mind? Do I smell toast? Didn't we do this last year? And then what happened?
We did. We did. And they were winning that game pretty much handily until like
Were
the 3rd
they?
quarter, and then they decided to melt down. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's all fair. That's exactly why I'm saying like I don't even want to bother. I really don't think it's. This is a situation where why should we even bother thinking about what this game could or should be? Because number one, is it a meaningful game? No, not really.
No.
If they win the game, then it will be one less reason that the fans that are mad about how the program is going, one less reason for them to bitch and complain. If they lose the game, God help us, because it'll just be another, continued meltdown. But for all of us, for the fans that just want to see UCLA play again, there's no way to predict how they're going to play. Now, would I be surprised if they come out and, like Mike said, they have all these guys, they still have all this talent on defense, even if the guy that called the defense this year is not there, and even if their number 1 player is not there, there's still plenty of guys that you would think could be able to play plenty well against Boise State, a team, from the Mountain West. But at the same time, there's no real stakes here, and hopefully it'll be a fun game to watch, and hopefully the Bruins win. But beyond that, there's no way to predict this.
No.
Jamaal, how are you feeling about the game?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I was like, please don't let this be like your guys' Fresno trip. Or wasn't there one of those Carl Dorrell 6 and 6 years where they lost to Virginia Tech or something like that in a bowl game, and it was like
Florida State in the Bay Area,
12
Fresno
to
State
3 or something
in
like that.
the Silicon Valley
please don't
Bowl.
let it be one of those games. Just I'm okay if it's like last year, but UCLA coming out on top. Just a fun shootout. I hope Chip airs it all out. Just instead of trying to hold things close to the vest, he's just doing flea flickers, end arounds. Really opening up the playbook. Just because you're right, Jake. I mean, these games, they don't matter as much as they used to. Certainly not when I was a little kid. A bowl game was everything. If you weren't in the national title picture, at least you got to go to a bowl game, and that showed some success. But with the way the college football playoff works out, the way next year when it's a full-fledged real tournament, these games just don't have any real meaning anymore. So I'm just hoping for a good game, a little bit better offense than we've seen from UCLA at least the last couple of weeks, and hopefully UCLA win.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time, the 80s, when UCLA won 8 bowl games in a row. And these weren't
I remember
sucker bowl games. They won the Rose Bowl
Yeah, they were good.
3 times in a row, right?
they won Fiesta Bowl.
They
with
they
Troy
won
Aikman.
they won the Fiesta Bowl. That's in between those 3 Rose Bowls. They won a Freedom Bowl, obviously a little bit of a step down, but still against BYU. Then they won an Alamo Bowl and a Cotton Bowl and then a Sun Bowl. And that was the last one was in '91. And then, the beginning of the Cape Canaveral era, they lost the Rose Bowl, the Wayne Cook Rose Bowl, and then they lost the Aloha Bowl. And then we had that big Cotton Bowl. And then, since the Cotton Bowl win in 1998,
Yeah.
where they should have gone to the national, but for the Washington State loss, they would have gone to the Rose Bowl that year. They are 5-11 in bowl games since that 1998 season. And by the way, there was a Rose Bowl in there. And other than that, we're not talking about great bowls. The best bowl they've been in were a couple Sun Bowls, arguably the Holiday Bowl, I guess. Other than that, it's just been darkness and despair. We're talking things like the Silicon Valley Bowl, which they lost, the Las Vegas Bowl, which they lost, the Emerald Nut Bowl, which they lost, another Las Vegas Bowl, which they lost, the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl, which they lost. Another Holiday Bowl. There's no shame in
And it's just the fact
Bowl.
that they're losing all these horrible games.
And they are on
bowl
a
games.
3-game bowl losing streak to the venerable Foster Farms Bowl to Nebraska in 2015, the Cactus Bowl in 2017 to Kansas State, and last year, like I said, probably one of the most embarrassing losses I would say of the millennia. But I don't know. You flip a coin as to whether it's the Silicon Valley Bowl or the Las Vegas Bowl to Wyoming. But the last game to Pittsburgh really was a bummer. So honestly, like I said, I don't know how to predict this game, but if they win the game, I'll be happy because guess what? We don't have a whole lot of successful bowl trips since any of us were students in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
There's not been so I mean, if you're a Bruin fan that's under 50, you got to take what you can get when it gets to bowl games, honestly. And I'll take a victory over Boise State in the LA Gronk Bowl. And by the way, if they lose, at the very least, and this is one of those things that's like, well, if you're in town for this weekend, you might as well go to the game because you have a chance to see a Bruin Bowl victory, which is cool. And if they lose, at the very least, you don't have the sad drive of shame home from the Bay Area or from
Vegas.
Fresno State or from Vegas. There's,
Fresno.
yeah, God, Fresno. That was in Silicon Valley, but still, the point being made. Like, at the very least, all you gotta do is negotiate the SoFi parking lot. Get off on Century, get to the 405, and you're good to go. Probably, the 105 for some of y'all. But just get out. It's going to be easy to get home, and you don't have to simmer on this one too long. But
you haven't paid for airfare. You haven't paid for gas.
Exactly.
You haven't got the super nachos at the Chili's down the street from the bowl game.
But it would honestly be great if we sent the Broncos packing. That would be fantastic. We didn't do any trivia, but I'll do one little quick bit of trivia right now. So stand by when we find that theme.
Now it's time for Jake's Trivia, brought to you by Jake, bringing you all the coolest trivia of UCLA football's opponent for this coming week. And now, Jake.
So UCLA has one game on record against the Boise State Broncos. Hey, Jamaal, do you have any idea when the blue turf became a thing? I want to say was it in this millennia, or was it in the 90s?
I think it was.
No, I want to say it goes back to like the 90s.
Yeah, and I can remember specifically because of EA Sports.
You remember the blue turf in the 90s?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well,
I think so.
That's
I'm
trivia
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
UCLA has played one game against Boise State ever, and it is the 1999 non-con game in which the Bruins won 38-7. Okay, the coaches in that game, UCLA's coach was Bob Toledo, who was the Boise State coach, a familiar name for Pac-12 fans.
Norvell?
No. Wrong answer.
Oh, was it?
Oh, was it the guy who was at Washington?
No. Wrong answer as well. It would be he ended up at Arizona
State.
State.
Yeah.
Dirk Cutter was the
Oh,
coach
okay.
there.
And I didn't think of that guy.
Yeah, and I just remember him because I had a friend that went to ASU, and he hated Dirk Cutter. He wanted Dirk Cutter fired every time that the name came up. He mother effed him. The other question for the night is, what is the most popular import into Idaho, of the last 10 years?
Into Idaho?
Yeah.
Into Idaho?
Yeah.
Marijuana?
Jamaal?
Cocaine?
Nope.
Fentanyl?
Nope.
Cotton?
Would it be potatoes? Going into Portland?
No. You guys are way overthinking it. It's an obvious answer. The answer is, of course, Californians. because
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
Lord.
that is one of the prime destinations for people
All right,
fleeing
nerd.
the
Christ
People's Republic
almighty.
of California. Yes, so enjoy that. And most notably, I think the the capita, the cop per citizen thing. Like, there's so many off-duty cops walking around Boise now. Like, you keep your head on a swivel because they're all moving up there. I have like 3 cousins in law enforcement. All of them have houses up there. But anyways, yeah,
Guys,
that's the most.
I get-
That's what's influxing the most into Idaho right now.
I can tell you when the blue started right now.
Please, Jamaal, enlighten us.
1986.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too.
Astroturf.
That blows my mind. I
Yeah.
had no idea it was
That
that
blows
old.
my mind too. Yeah,
Holy
I remember in the '90s, but I didn't remember it going all the way back then. But,
Yeah.
I was 6. So.
I couldn't place it all, but I mean, because for a while Boise State wasn't a team of any like note. They hadn't really
Right.
accomplished
No,
much.
it was
But the blue turf, predates
Yeah, it
all
was
that.
at Peterson with the against Oklahoma and the Fiesta Bowl. That
all- Statue of Liberty, all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, but now they're an awesome team and with a great history.
Yeah.
Proud Broncos.
they've helped bring up the Mountain West Conference.
Absolutely. Now let's hope they lose this bowl game. I
Yeah,
don't.
screw you guys.
My prediction for this game is UCLA winning. How many points? Oh wait, no, I don't want to predict yet.
I believe it's 3.5.
Garbers is winning or is going to play.
Play.
yeah?
Yes.
Here's the other part about it. If Garbers is going to play, and most of the UCLA defense theoretically is going to play,
Mhm.
this is another one of those games. And getting back to the stakes of this thing, it's like there really is no way to predict how it's going to go, but there really isn't a legitimate reason why UCLA shouldn't beat Boise State
Mhm.
handily in this game. Given that if Garbers is playing, they should have at least some ability to move and score the ball, even if they can't throw the ball deep, which has been his Achilles heel. And on defense, they're obviously not having Latu there is a big deal. Not having their the couple defensive backs there is a big deal. But they still should be able to field the team that can, put plenty of pressure on whatever Boise State's going with.
Yeah, you still got the Murphys.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's still plenty of guys. You said Carl Jones too. So I mean,
Kay Madrano,
there's-
Moasau.
there's no real reason. Oladejo. There's no real reason why the Bruins shouldn't dominate this game. Now, will they? Psh, who knows? Because we have no idea. This could be another one of those circle the wagon moments for the Bruins where, they come off of that dreadful, horrible, inexcusable loss to ASU, and they come out and have their best effort of the season against SC, and then they fall flat against Cal. Screw you, Jamaal. We're still mad about that. But this could be another one of those type of games, or it could be like, hey, everybody's ready to go on Christmas vacation, and we'll just phone this one in. So I'm curious to see. I mean, you would think that it being at home, basically, a stadium closer than your actual home stadium, which is bizarre. Good stat with
Yeah.
that, Jamaal, by the way. We appreciate that.
Although probably worse to get into, I've heard.
No, it's not that bad. Not that bad at all. And by the way, leaving, not that bad. Especially at this game. By the way,
Yeah, that's what.
how many people are going to be there? No,
Yeah.
it's really not.
It's not
going
to be packed like a Rams game or a
Wait, what's that? Packed like a Rams game?
or Chargers.
How
Well,
many-
well, I was
what's
going to
their
add. Well, I was
average?
going to add to that. When playing the Raiders or the
Yeah,
Cowboys
there you go.
or the 49ers.
That makes sense. So, anyways, I because
Oh Lord.
I'll just say the
Okay.
Bruins are going to win. The Bruins are going to win, and they'll win 27-9. There we go.
Well, guys, if
I
the
don't know
Bruins do win, it'll be the first time a Pac-12 team has actually won this bowl game. So they gotta win
Sweet, something to
for
look
that.
forward to.
How many Pac-12 teams have been in this game?
It's only
All of
three games. It's always a Pac-12
Yeah.
team.
Versus the Mountain
Oregon
West.
State, Oregon State lost the inaugural one, and Washington State lost last year.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
All right, Mike, throw away that score. Let's. The Bruins are going to win 2-0. There we go.
Again, you already picked that one.
Okay, the Bruins are going to win
4-2.
No, just 1-0.
1.
I mean, it could
How do you do 1 point?
It's just,
it could be 3. It could be 3-0. Like
Boise
the Raiders
State's
and the
going to
Vikings this
forfeit the
week.
game right before. I don't know. I'll think of a score and tell you later. Mike, what do you want? What's your score going to be?
It's just weird because especially in the last 3 weeks, what was put out on what was executed, produced on the field, was not what we saw in the rest of the season. There was actually some consistency with the offense for a little while. The defense played pretty solid, but then it just kind of all went to crap. I shouldn't say that. It was all just unpredictable. The fact that they lose to Arizona, they were not favored to beat USC, and then they like throttle them, and then they get their butts kicked by Cal. So on this one, I'm gonna go something unconventional. UCLA wins 26-24.
All right.
There's gonna be a
Jamaal, what do
there's
you-
gonna be a safety in there somewhere.
I'm going 31-30. UCLA wins on the last second field goal somehow.
What are you talking about? They have no kicker.
After not getting any kicking whatsoever all year, somehow they pull one out of their caboose and take the pride of winning this bowl game for the Pac-12. I just want you guys to be happy. So I'm going 31-30.
Oh, thanks, Jamaal.
UCLA.
Yeah. Did you figure it out, Jake? Do you know what you want to do?
I'm sorry, I'm dealing with grisly politics right now. It's very frustrating. Sure, Mike. Let's do just a nice score of what did I say before?
It's 2-0.
Let's go 27-9. I'll just
That's
do a
what you said.
traditional
That's
score,
what you
whatever.
said. Okay.
That's- we'll just stick with that.
Okay, cool.
Jamaal, you guys are playing in Shreveport. Go
the
Bears.
Independence Bowl. Go Bears.
Let's go Bears. How you feeling about that game?
A little worried. I mean, it's 2 6-6 teams, so how good can you feel? Cal actually, except for that stupid Auburn game, did pretty well. Have done pretty well when it comes to what do you call it? To playing teams outside their conference. I don't know. This feels like one of those things. You know, they know they're going to have Jaden Ott. They know they're going to have their quarterback. So this feels like one of those things where they should win, but they probably won't because it's, you know, Shreveport, Louisiana. It's going to be freezing, my understanding. It's right by the water. I think it's during the day. I don't remember. I actually have it in front of me. I think Cal pulls off a 27-24 win. How about that?
I like
Nice.
Jamaal. Yeah. Fernando's playing.
Yeah, I mean he's not going anywhere.
The Otters playing.
The Otters playing, which I'm quite surprised. I was expecting him to maybe declare for the draft, but no, he's going to be playing.
Let's go. Go get it then. I mean, it is sucks you got to go all across the country for it, but hopefully the guys have a good time over there. Oh, wait. We are getting breaking news about the weather, though. Yeah, let's hit the breaking news.
What's brewing?
Breaking news on a weekly basis.
News just in.
So we're talking about Berkeley, and we're talking about their bowl game.
Yeah, Berkeley is actually really great.
So what time is the game, and what's the weather going to be like, guys?
The local time, it's going to be 8:15 on Saturday when the game starts, and it's supposed to 70% chance of rain, and the high is 54, the low is 49. Yeah, no, Cal's going to lose. This has all the signs of their Cheez-It Bowl loss against Texas Christian, 10-3 in overtime. It's going to be, I don't know how you're going to be able to play in those conditions. Shreveport's that's like along, I think, the Louisiana River. They're by the stadium is by a body of water of some sort. That doesn't make me feel good about this game at all.
Well, it was nice. Those pleasant thoughts were nice while they lasted, I suppose.
I mean, they have all their guys, but no, I don't know about this one.
Yeah, well, whatever. Just enjoy watching Cal football for another week after UCLA gifted you guys a bowl game. So,
Gifted.
Yeah.
Gifted is what he said, folks.
Yeah, gifted. Jamaal,
Jaden ran the ball up your butt, and you're going to tell me gifted.
yeah,
Okay.
just terrible stuff. Jamaal, do you want to stay around for basketball talk?
No, sorry, guys.
That's
I got to
fine.
be up at, what time do I have to be up? I have to be at work at 4, so.
Okay.
For my time, not your time.
Well, enjoy yourself, and thank you for doing the West Coast Bias. And let's see.
Happy to do it.
You can get yourself onto a consistent schedule, pal. I don't know what your problem is.
Oh, yeah. God knows what my problem is.
Yeah, all right, Jamaal.
All right.
We will
Thanks,
see you later.
Dave.
Say hi to
Thanks.
everybody.
Later, Jamal.
All right. Take care, guys.
So
See
long.
ya. Bye.
Do you think we drink too much?
No, we don't drink too much. Men face reality, women don't. That's why men need to drink.
I hate it when podcasters talk about what they're drinking.
What else am I gonna drink, Bob? A fucking Fresca?
And thank you for joining the What's Bruin Symposium. It is a conversation over drinks, and that's what we're having here tonight. Mikey cracked a nice blue can of beer. What do you got over there, Mikey?
I got Firestone Mine Haze for several reasons. Firestone is local to Los Angeles. They have, I think it's Venice or I forgot that city, but
approved by our listeners last time too.
Yes, they have a brewery down in the near South Bay area. Also, Mind Haze. It's a blue bottle and Mind Haze. I mean, come on, who else? Who's more? What fan base is more into Mind Haze than UCLA fans right now? And not just with football, but men's basketball too. Women's basketball, not so much. That's straight up champagne right there.
Ballers.
We'll get into that in a second. But this. I've really gotten into the hazies, Jake. I don't know why. It's just I don't know. It adds a different flavor to the usual IPAs that I like. And went out of town this weekend and had a lot of IPAs.
That's good to know.
Town.
You went somewhere on personal business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
You had a good time.
Yeah, a lot of breweries.
Sounds like it.
What do you have?
Thanks, Mike. I have, Jamaal was talking about how his favorite bourbon is Bullet bourbon, and it made me think of, Bullet's fine, and I like it too. But I haven't had Knob Creek in a while, and I happen to have a bottle of Knob Creek Single Barrel Reserve, aged 9 years, and it comes in at 120 proof. So it's pretty powerful stuff, but it is a nice bottle. So I poured a couple ounces out of this, and that's what I am drinking tonight. So cheers to you, Mikey, and thank you. Cheers to all of you out there listening. Thank you for supporting What's Bruin Show. And for just how much a month, Mike?
$2.
$2 a month. You can send the What's Bruin Show into the future by subscribing on patreon.com/What's Bruin Show or whatsbruinshow.com. Or for just a little more than how much, Mike?
$2.
You could also subscribe on the Substack, whatsbruin.substack.com, I believe it is. And that is something like, I don't know, like $60 a year or something. I don't know. However you choose to support the What's Bruin Show, we appreciate it. And thank you for your support. And cheers. So, Mikey, UCLA men's basketball, UCLA women's basketball, both been playing games.
Polar opposites right now.
One has been playing better than the other.
Much better.
So which one do you want to talk about first then? Your call, Mikey.
Let's go into men's basketball.
Okay.
Because they have not been up to the level of what we have normally seen with the Cronin team, but at the same time, this is a very young team as opposed to a very old team that was last year.
There certainly are reasons for, right?
Yeah, and to expect that this team to come together and play some top-notch basketball as they did last year, a little bit absurd because you have not only so many different new players, young players, you don't really have a solid core. You have Will McClendon, Adem Bona, Dylan Andrews, Kenneth Nuba. Definitely not like Adem Bona was toying with the NBA draft, and to some he was toying with transferring. But he's the only one of note from last season who was a huge contributor. You have all these new guys, who, tall dudes and guys who show some flashiness here and there, like Alain Fableux, who I just love saying his name. And then you add certain aspects like the fact that Berke Boyutushel, I believe I pronounced that correctly, he's out. He's day-to-day with a ankle sprain, which he suffered against UC Riverside 2 weeks ago. So yeah, it's not great right now. So UCLA went to Philadelphia.
Even with that being said, Mike, you're going to get to the game against Villanova in a moment. But even with that being said, they've had now they're 5-3, but 2 of the 3 losses were to ranked teams by a total of 6 points. Right, and the Marquette game they very easily could have won, and that was against the number 4 team in the country at the time. So this is a little bit of doom and gloom, but that still has to be adjusted to. Yeah, this game against Villanova wasn't great, losing on the road though to a Villanova team where they kind of faded down the stretch.
Yeah,
but
kind of close, but then they did fade down the stretch.
But this isn't a like, oh my God, what's happening to UCLA basketball thing. Like, this is kind of,
they're not getting blown out.
It's not unexpected, is what I'm saying, right?
Exactly.
So get to your thoughts on the Villanova game.
No, it was just a true road game. And obviously, Villanova is actually on the north side of Philadelphia, but it's not much for their fans to travel, especially down to that area of Philadelphia where it's just a fantastic sports complex, especially in the 76ers gym.
Yeah.
So this being a true road game, it was a good test for UCLA. They were leading at halftime. They had some really good aspects of the game. Their defense was pretty good from at different moments, but they just don't really have guys who could finish. Not a lot of top scorers. The fact that you have a true freshman Sebastian Mack as your leading scorer says something about your veterans who should be able to step up and play. Although guys like Will McClendon are more known for their defense, although his 3-point shot has been improving. But there really isn't anybody on here that you can say is a go-to scorer. And as far as defense, it's coming together, and that's what Mick Cronin wants. But it's just not all there. You don't have guys like David Singleton or Jaime Jaquez or even Tiger Campbell, taking on point guards who can just really limit and hopefully shut down, opposing players, like they did. There's no one on this team that could actually do that. And to mix in the fact that you not only have young players, but young players that are still learning this game, we're going to be saying that for a while until it all starts to click, if it ever does. But yeah, it's just a rough going right now, a rough time going for UCLA men's basketball. And it doesn't get easier because they have Ohio State coming up. Then they have CSUN, Maryland after that, which not a great team. But then right after that, you get right into Pac-12 basketball at Oregon State, at Oregon. So it's going to be. It's just going to be a test.
Let's just worry about.
It's kind of like survival at this point for UCLA.
Yeah, but I mean, with how they're playing right now, obviously, I'm glad that they have a few more games before they enter into Pac-12 play. But with that being said, let's not talk about the Pac-12 quite yet, and let's talk about the next 3 games that they have. Ohio State is a team that is 8-2. However, they're coming off a loss to Penn State, who is not a very good team.
Yeah.
I want to say that Villanova beat Penn State by like 17 points or something, right? So it might be a game in which Ohio State is like gonna, take some revenge out on the Bruins after losing. But then again, it just shows that any given team can lose a game on any given one of these game nights.
Yeah.
That's a neutral site game, right?
Yes, that is the part of the CBS Sports Classic,
yeah.
And it's being played in Atlanta this year, which is a neutral site game, but it's pretty much a road.
Is that
game.
A tournament where they end up playing another game off of that, or is
no?
it
It's just the multi-team event where those 4 teams just cycle each other. UNC and Kentucky being the other 2.
Gotcha. So look, they're playing that game on neutral site, and would we be surprised if they play well and give the Buckeyes a contest? Absolutely not. We'd be surprised if the Buckeyes kind of beat them up because the Buckeyes have been better this year.
Nope.
Maybe not, right?
Nope.
But then after that, they should beat CSUN, right? There's no excuse to lose to CSUN.
Yeah.
And then they should beat Maryland. Maryland is not a very good team.
No.
Okay.
No.
So
and they throttled them at Maryland last year, but again, that was with the Jaime Jaquez loaded veteran team.
So after they go play this neutral site game, then those other 2 are at Pauley, right?
Yes.
So they should finish the non-con at worst 2-1. That's a should, right? This doesn't mean they will.
Yeah.
But that would put them at what, 7-4 at worst.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you look at all the pieces that have changed on this team and all the new faces trying to meld together, that's fine. Especially when you look at when they did kind of have it going, they were playing pretty competitively against some pretty tough teams.
Yeah.
And they beat the teams that they were supposed to beat, basically. That Villanova game is probably the worst loss. It absolutely is the worst loss so far.
I mean, if you could say the worst win, that UCR game did not leave a good taste.
That's
in
fine, but it
Bruins
still says
basketball.
W right there, right?
It
And
does.
I know
It does.
I know that is in between the other 2 losses, the loss to Gonzaga and Villanova.
Yeah.
But they still won the game. So
Yeah.
you can't really hold it against them. I don't think, right? unless you want to give them credit for playing Marquette tough. I think those two kind of wash with me.
I still do. I thought they played them tough and they came close to getting wins in that game. They just didn't.
But anyways, the bottom line is then they go into the Pac-12 schedule, and that's where they're really going to have to buckle down and hopefully not get themselves buried early, so they have a chance to be competitive late. Is that fair?
Yes.
Now, you mentioned it earlier, I want to say, but the bracketology, like Lenardi just put out his thing, and he has UCLA as a first 4 out on the bubble team. Was there any other bracket news? That's the bracketology of record generally, right?
Yeah, it's I just can't get into bracketology before the new year.
I agree.
There's just so much randomness.
My point being is that's where they're at.
Yeah.
But then again, they were probably right there.
That's where they're
before
quote
the
unquote
season's,
at. Yeah, exactly.
Whatever, and it's whatever. It's all just kind of up in the cloud. But I mean, they want to get into the Pac-12 and just play competitively enough. And by the way, they don't play Arizona for like the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like the 7th or 8th game, or the 8th game of the Pac-12 schedule.
Yeah, but that's
is
not
when they
looking
finally
good
get to
either.
Arizona.
That's not looking good either.
What's that?
They're the number 1 team in the nation.
No, that's my point.
Yeah.
Like you get like 8 games before you have to go play Arizona, right?
So you have 8 games before you go get your butt kicked.
Well, I'm just who knows? Who cares? I mean, like it was at this point, house money when you play Arizona this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything on UCLA has changed, and Arizona's supposed to kick your ass. So let's see how they play.
Yeah.
Maybe they give them a game. That's really all we can hope for. And what I'm saying is, you have 8 games to get ready for that game where you're going to try to be very, very competitive, right? So I mean, I where do you want to see them? A few games into the conference season, like what are you expecting?
Well, I'm just hoping that there's a cohesiveness defensively, because I think that's going to be the biggest thing. Obviously, you shut down other teams. That slows down. That slows them down until your offense can kick in. Because right now, I can honestly see their defense doing so much better, getting into gear so much faster than their offense. Because I honestly don't know who would be like a go-to guy, a clutch guy. If there's a game, tough, contested game that could go both ways in the final seconds, I don't know who I would want to have the ball in their hands in those final seconds to try to make a shot to win the game. That's how much this is such a crapshoot of we have no idea what's going on with the team right now. But defensively, I think that's definitely their stronger suit, and I hope that is the strong suit going into conference play, or a few games, as you said.
When you look at the Pac-12, there's only one ranked team right now, and it happens to be the number 1 ranked team in the country, right? So, I mean, if you're looking at how chalk works out, well, Arizona's going to sweep through the Pac-12 undefeated and remain the undefeated, the number 1 ranked team by the end of the season. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But right now, that's what chalk would say, right? Because you look at the other teams in the conference. Washington State's 8-1, but they ain't played nobody.
Yeah.
They have literally played. I don't even know if they played a major conference team. Oh, no, they lost to Mississippi State. Their only loss is like their only major conference game. The Buffs are 7-2. They lost to Florida State. They lost to Colorado State. They beat Miami. Those are the only real notable games on their schedule, right? So it's like SC's underachieving so far, right?
Yeah, they were ranked in the preseason, and now they had this whole thing with Bronny James making his first start. Packed house. LeBron was in there. Just media frenzy. USC loses in overtime to Long Beach State.
Go Niners.
Go Beach.
Go Beach. Yeah, we're happy that Bronny was able to play. We are happy that
happy for
lost
him.
the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is that if there's a year for you to kind of have to work your way in to conference play and try to peak late, I think that the Pac-12 is absolutely set up in a way that's friendly to UCLA's cause this particular year.
Yeah.
They're going in, and there's one big dog in the conference right now, and that's the Wildcats, and
the big
everybody
dog
else
is a cat?
Yeah, whatever. Thank you, Mike. But you see what I'm saying, though?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And so why not? There's no reason to expect that they can't play well enough in conference to be in a position towards the end to, at the very worst, make the tournament, and at the very best, give yourself a chance to compete for one of the top teams in the conference. That's what they should be shooting for.
Yeah.
Taking the conference title this year might be a little unrealistic. Being a team that's peaking at the end probably is what we should be shooting for.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
All right. Well, let's get on to the thing that you like more. One of the biggest proponents of the UCLA women's basketball team would be none other than Mike Regalado.
Mike Regalado.
Big applause, Big Mike.
So what do you think of those Lady Bruins?
The 9-0 Lady Bruins, who
That's right.
are 4 weeks running as the number 2 team in the nation. The fact that Utah didn't do what they were supposed to and beat South Carolina, which would have given UCLA the number 1 spot in the land. Whatever. That's neither here nor there, because actually Utah is actually really good. This women's basketball team, no surprise, is just so good. They've been. I want to see. This is a great team right now. They've been good the last few seasons. They've faltered here and there. They've had injuries. They've actually had some pretty big wins in the last 4 or 5 years, but they are just mowing through teams right now. This past weekend, they took down on a neutral site in Connecticut. They took down number 20 Florida State. 95-78. They took down a freaking ranked team by almost 20 points.
That's
and
awesome.
This is their second ranked team that they took down, because earlier during the Cayman Island Classic, they took on number 6 UConn and just smacked them around.
Straight ball.
The weekend before last, they were at Arkansas, a true road game, defeated them 81-56. I mean, they are just smashing people right now. It's insane. Awesome. Last week,
Go Bruins.
they took on CSUN, and poor CSUN. This was a Thursday night game at Pauley Pavilion.
Matadors.
111-48 win.
Would you maybe say that the Matadors tried to take the bull by the horns and failed?
Big time.
Big time.
Yeah, the Matadors, they didn't kill, they got killed.
Yeah.
And you could see why. Just this is the one thing about this team is that it is a perfect mix of veteran experience and young talented players. I was actually talking to my dad about this, because I kept telling him, he's got to watch the women's team. The unfortunate thing is that they haven't been on freaking national TV. It's either been on Pac-12 Network, which few people have, or they've actually done the Pac-12 stream, which who has
What's
time
worse
for
than
that?
the Pac-12 Network? The Pac-12 stream.
What's worse than the Pac-12 stream is Flow Sports, who asks you for a subscription. That's what the UConn game was on, for a subscription of $30 a month. I was like, no offense, but I don't watch that much women's basketball. I watch a lot of Pac-12 basketball.
If you don't watch women's basketball, who does?
No, I definitely watch almost every UCLA women's basketball game.
Yes.
I watch a lot of Pac-12 basketball,
Yes.
and I watch a lot of ranked women's basketball games, but with my life, kids and men's basketball and still in football. No, the priority here is UCLA women's basketball, but they have just an amazing mix of talent. You have Charisma Osborne and London Jones leading this team, and the addition of freaking Lauren Betts, who is almost averaging a double-double this season. She actually has 7 double-doubles? No, she got her 5th against Florida State this past weekend, and that's tied for 14th in the nation. She is averaging 17 points, 9.2 rebounds. Nobody on the team was close to that last year. And on top of that, you have 6 players, not just the starters, but 6 players that are averaging double-digit points. Lauren Betts, Gabriella Jaquez, London Jones, Charisma Osborne, Kiki Rice, and Angela Dugalich. And even the bench players are contributing as well. This is just a really good freaking basketball team. And when I was talking to my dad about it, because he's the one that got me into basketball. He was like, this team knows each other. They are comfortable offensively, and they are very solid on defense. And that's the thing. Corey Close has had her team play good defense every single year. They just kind of struggled on offense. Well, now they have freaking shooters. They have a 6'7", a proper post center, and Lauren Betts, who's just destroying people. It's allowing them to play an inside-out game, which they have not been able to do before. I basically summed it up to the last few years. They had a lot of similar players who were forced to play, this position or this position or this position. Well, this year, they have Lauren Betts, a proper center. They have Kiki Rice, a true point guard. Charisma Osborne doesn't have to play the point. She can actually play the shooting guard position. It's just a really well done, well put together team that is just, like I said, they have a good chemistry. They have a good flow, and they are just beating people.
So coincidentally, did you already get to who they're playing next?
I have not yet. No.
They're playing also the Buckeyes next. Where's
Oh,
that
that's
game
right. That is in Ohio State, I
It's
believe.
just it's in Columbus.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And that was one of the things I predicted UCLA might lose one game before they get into conference play. And I predicted it might be that Ohio State game, but I don't know. I could see them going into Ohio State and getting that win. Then they play Hawaii on December 21st. And this is unfortunate. The fact that USC, number 6 in the nation, and they're doing really well as they're producing at a very high rate. Their new coach, whose name blanks me right now, I'm blanking on, and I'll get to it in a second. But she has them. She was the one that used to coach Cal that Jamaal was very upset about. That went to the NBA, and then she came back to coach the Trojans. Well, clearly she has them on a winning path. That is their first conference game, and that's on December 30th. Which is unfortunate because no students are going to be there. It's winter break, but they're going to try to pack Poly.
You speak of Lindsey Gottlieb.
Thank you, Lindsey Gottlieb. That's going to be a huge game against most likely ranked opponents. It's just unfortunate. And yeah, you can't foresee how these teams are going to do when you set the schedule, 6-7 months prior. But that's just going to be unfortunate. And when they play...
Let me try to wrangle you real quick, Mike.
At USC on January 14th, that should be a big draw as well.
Yeah, so a couple things there.
Yeah.
They got Ohio State coming up.
Yeah.
Ohio State, the only game they've lost is to SC, their opener. You already said it. So there's no shame in losing that game, but it sure would be nice if they didn't.
Yeah.
Right? Then they got Hawaii. They should beat Hawaii. So they'll make it out of the non-conference theoretically at no worse than what are they now? They're like 10-1 or something, and maybe undefeated. Then you get into the conference play, and yeah, how do you feel about them? What's up with the Pac-12 schedule? They have both SC games in the first. Both SC games are going to be done.
It's always been like that. It's
January
been weird.
15th.
It's been so bizarre
what are we
that
doing?
way.
Like the Pac-12 can't give a good schedule to the women's teams too.
Well,
it's like no planning whatsoever. Who's the women's big basketball rival?
I know.
It's not like it's
like
USC. You have to fit it.
No, definitely USC. Stanford.
It's not like you have to fit Arizona in there somewhere. I mean, obviously, it's like. Come on.
Exactly. No, I would say Stanford too, which is they play. God, I have to go all the way down to the end of the schedule. No, they're in the middle of the schedule.
It's just that part's kind of frustrating to me. But so, Mike, we have the game against Ohio State. The question I was going to ask you is, then Hawaii's at Poly.
Yeah.
And SC is at Poly.
Yeah.
And those are the last 2 games of the year. So if you want to go out and see this team, that will be your next 2 opportunities. The 21st is a Thursday, and that game, is it really a Thursday at 1 o'clock? They play on a Thursday at 1 o'clock?
It's
what the F is that about?
Winter break, because this is finals week.
I'm not on winter break. The girls can't play at a normal time for they want people to watch them. They're playing a game,
Jake,
in their arena at 1 o'clock on a Thursday.
Women's basketball does this quite a bit. What was the game?
Effing F, Mike. How am I supposed to go watch the game if they're playing at 1 o'clock?
Yeah, exactly.
People got to work, bro.
Exactly.
Okay.
What was it? I think
I'm going to get over that.
They've had at least one game each of the last 3 seasons, I want to say, that had an 11 a.m. tip-off.
Are we at Wrigley Field without lights?
It is very bizarre.
What are we doing?
It is very bizarre.
What are we doing?
It's like, oh, after class, come and see this game, which is going on right now as you're taking your lab.
Fill up Poly for your number 2 Lady Bruins team. Oh, geez. Okay, so anyways, so with that being said, then actually the next legitimate chance to go watch this team play is on 12:30 at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And that is against SC.
That's the Pac Poly
as you
game.
just mentioned.
Yes.
So, hey, let's all pack Poly and go see the number 2 women's basketball team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Go see those Bruins. Hopefully beat the crap out of SC.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Either way, that's going to be one hell of a game.
Yes. I know you're excited, Mike. And then when we talk about the Pac-12, unlike the men's side of things, the Pac-12 women's
freaking loaded
conference is always loaded.
Yeah.
And as of right now, there are 5 ranked teams, and there's no team in the Pac-12 that has more than 3 losses total.
Yeah.
And that would be like the Ducks and the Sun Devils. are currently not doing as well as the other teams. But everybody, basically, the combined, the worst winning percentage in the Pac-12 right now, after almost all the way through the non-con, is at a 700 rate.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the prospects are for the Bruins to win the conference this year?
I mean, it just like we've talked about how in past the football Pac-12 football teams, there's that adage, the Pac-12 always eats itself.
Yeah.
This is gonna, I think this is gonna be very similar, and I think UCLA, USC, Utah, Colorado, and Stanford, which I mean that's you could pick any one of those, and I think they would win. But
sure.
You also talked about what there were. You said there were 5 in the top 25. Well, those just outside, just receiving votes: Washington, Washington State. Are those the only 2? Oregon State. This is just a freaking loaded conference, and we're probably going to see the sand settle by the halfway point of Pac-12 play. But my God, this UCLA team is playing at a high level right now, and if they can continue that, if they can, cross your fingers, please let's not have any more injuries. I think that they can go unscathed. I don't think they're going to go undefeated. If they go undefeated in this conference, that's like otherworldly elite teams, which I'm gonna battle with the Godfather Jim Bandette. That at that point, Corey Close is probably, even if she doesn't get a championship, most likely the best women's basketball coach in UCLA history. Yeah, I said that right. Sorry, I'm talking very fast. I'm very excited, people. But no, just alone there are 5 teams in the top 11. That's crazy. It's insane how good this conference is. But yeah, we can't expect anybody to go unscathed. If UCLA wins the conference, I can imagine them doing it with three losses.
Well, I would love to see it.
Yeah.
Did you mention that Kiki Rice almost had a quadruple double?
I did not. That's right. In that beatdown against CSUN.
News.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once again, the Matadors really took it.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that's a shame. What was that quadruple double almost composed of? Let's see. That was...
I forgot her points, but I remember she had 10 rebounds and 10 assists, I believe.
14 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists.
There you go.
And it was the 10th triple-double in program history.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what her almost quadruple was. I like to... 3 stills shy. So, yeah, 7 stills. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
Pretty insane, yeah.
There's your women's basketball talk. Hopefully, Nancy, you enjoyed that. If you're still out there listening, we love you, Nancy.
Yeah.
But, Mike, I think it's time for Bill, former host of What's Brewing. It's a favorite part of the show. So let's get to that.
What's brewing with you? You ask me. What's brewing with me? Yeah. What's brewing with you? What's brewing with me? What's brewing with you?
Of course, I say that in jest. Of course, Bill's still part of the show. Or is he? Mike, what's brewing with you?
He is. Dude, this year has gone by quick, but this December is going by even quicker. My
this
God,
year needs
it's
to
like
end. This year sucks.
I wouldn't say that, but
I'm happy for you,
I have my
Mike.
reasons. But yeah, no, Christmas is going by quick. I'm done on Friday and off for 3 weeks. That usually takes freaking forever. But yeah, no, I have just a lot of stuff to look forward to. Going to be a busy few weeks to the end of the year. As I said last time, my 2 daughters have they've made their basketball team. This Thursday they have their first game, so I'm going to go check that out and go root on the Regalado girls, as well as they also have a performance at their school next Tuesday. Yeah, it's performance season, it's pageant season, it's bowl season. It's just crazy right now. So yeah, I'm also going to be, as I said earlier in the show, I'm going to be talking in person to the UCLA football team, hopefully the Gronk, as I go to SoFi for the first time. And then the next day I'm going to be covering the LA Bowl at SoFi, but not before I go to celebrate my daughter's 14th birthday. And she
Nice.
doesn't know this and she doesn't listen to the podcast, but yeah, she's getting her first pair of Doc Martens this weekend.
Fun.
She is going to flip, and I cannot wait to see her face.
Very
I'm
exciting.
so excited to see that. But yeah, just busy as always. So that's what's happening. Jake, what's brewing with you?
Not much. I look forward to seeing you out at the LA Bowl, Mikey. The other reason I'm definitely absolutely going is because I also already had a concert there, so I'm gonna go see Queens of the Stone Age that night.
Nice.
It'll be a big family day for me because, like I said, I think
So you're just
planning
gonna
on
stick.
taking.
You're just gonna stick around?
Plan on taking Malcolm to the bowl game, and then at some point we'll either get an exchange or Sarah and Megan, or maybe Molly, will come down and join us.
Oh, nice.
I actually was able to wrangle some extra free tickets to Queens of Stone Age. I guess rock is really dead in America, but not for me. But
Not the local scene, bro.
Yeah, no kidding. So, anyways, but that should be a fun day down in Inglewood, I'm guessing. But I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully the Bruins win. Hopefully, Josh Homme doesn't kick a reporter in the face or something again. That's what he did last time he was in that building. So we'll see how that goes. So,
yeah,
Mikey, when are we going to podcast again?
Well, actually, the reason I wanted to do today, and
son of
I know you didn't want to, but
why are we here? This was fun, though.
Well, that's the thing.
Why are we here?
We don't know when we're going to podcast again because we have Christmas coming up, New Year's. Not a lot of
I'll definitely do
big
a post game.
Games. The post game, yeah.
I'll definitely do a post game.
As Jake has been doing. Jake, by the way, bravo to you. Those post games have just been well done. They've been avant-garde when needed to. They have just been freaking
I appreciate that, Mike.
Brilliant. It has added to this show, and I think it's gained a lot more followers and a lot more interactions with our homies. So thank you to everyone out there.
Yes.
If we don't do another show, I just thought about it right now. If we don't do another show in the rest of the year, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy holidays.
We'll figure it out. We still have basketball. I know Jake doesn't want to do, but you know what, Jake?
What?
Signing day.
Whatever.
It's next week.
Okay, whatever. Okay.
I don't care.
Here's our podcast.
I don't care.
Here's our podcast for signing day. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? Announce the UCLA signing class.
Here's the 2023 UCLA signing class. Yeah.
Okay, we're done.
Hopefully,
Good.
we'll have more transfer commits and a few more high school verbals, but we'll see. It's not great.
See you in 2024, folks.
See you in 2024.
Other than the post-game show. All right, Mike. Until next
All right,
time.
Jake.
Happy holidays to everyone out there. We love you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of the show all year long. This certainly is a fun thing for me and Mike and the rest. Jamaal too. Maybe Bill a little bit.
Occasionally.
Bill. But we love you all.
I mean, what's that say about Bill when Jamaal, who lives in another time zone, is able to give us some time?
It means that Jamaal's thirsty for airtime. But that's okay. But
I was going the other way. That Bill is just like, oh, okay.
Guys, happy holidays. We love you all. And until next time, go Bruins.
Good evening.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That was the What's Bruin show.
Try us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's gotta be in or out, Mom. In or out. Well, I need the door closed.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, bro, we play some ball on the West Coast.
The final word is boob.